Hello everyone, welcome here to Valkenswaard in the Netherlands for round number 2, rightfully so, round number 2 of the 2017B NASA RallyCross Challenge season. After a couple seasons of experimenting as the season opener, we went to the long-time country opener of Great Britain, and now we're back at our long-time second round venue. It's Valkenswaard, as it's Josh Mertz bringing you the call, as always, for the Automotive Sports Network today. We will have 10 cars competing in today's race. Philip Kraus was unable to make it last week, so he will make his season debut. Cody Erdman will take a provisional in car number 1. But all the regulars are here from last week, so it's the same format as before. 2 quarterfinals, 2 semifinals, LCQ at a final. 6 laps, 4 laps, 3 laps, 8 laps, Joker once, except for the final. Let's get going in quarterfinal 1. Getting ready for the first quarterfinal. Here in Valkenswaard, it's Wetz, Lester, Mertz, Johnson, and Valley. Green flag. And off the line, down to turn 1, the longtime rivals here at Valkenswaard. It's going to be Mertz v. Wetz, as Mertz beats Wetz into turn 1.
Shredded second. Whoa.
Rounding turn 1. Mertz shreds second gear on the start as the V2 racing teammates get very close together in turn 1. And into the dirt. Mertz is already at a disadvantage. He lost second gear last week and at the end of the race, and now in the quarterfinal he loses it. Remember, nobody jokers on the first lap of the race. Rule was changed as Mertz will lead us around the final corner, holding the red plate as he leads at the end of the first lap. Wetz hits the inside wall in car number 23. Valley takes the fight to him, looking. He's currently in third. He looked to the outside for a moment, can't make anything happen. His teammate, Lester, in fourth, and Johnson loops it nearly in the 77. So now we have to see if Mertz can hold this without second gear. He had to go 5th, 4th, 3rd, down to 1st, our telemetry showed. Let's see who's going to joker. He does, nearly gets hit by Wetz. Jokering is Valley in the 24, along with Lester. So Wetz does not joker, and he's going to be battling with Valley on the exit. Side by side is the Texan v. the Indiana native. Mertz slides it out of the final corner. And we are battling still for the second spot. As Wetz is in a good spot, but you have to think maybe Valley's going to hold him up here. Valley, fastest man on the circuit, 41.547, but he runs it wide in turn 1. And Wetz is going to take the fight to him.
End of 2, nobody counted laps.
Sorry, end of 2.
Side by side contact between them. And Wetz fighting hard. He locks it up into the dirt there. Let's see when he will joker in the 23. No joker yet for Wetz. As famously, Chris Wetz jokers on the end of the race, near the last lap or on the last lap. As we're coming across flags, it looks like Mertz looped it. And he does! In the 81, and he turns Wetz. And that gives Valley the lead.
The whole thing's going to be under review.
I don't have second gear, so I can't. I don't have second gear.
So Valley leads now in the quarterfinal with 3 laps to go. Wetz back to second. Mertz is in third. Lester third.
Leads.
Mertz fourth. Johnson
81 penalty box.
Spun again.
I'm just gonna park it because I don't have second gear. I'm sorry.
And Mertz gets sent to the penalty box, but parks the car. So 2 to go for Valley in the quarterfinal.
Leads.
So Valley, the beneficiary here, still fastest man on the track, a 41.536. And it's been long known that if Victor Valley can compose himself and contain himself...
To you, Josh, I don't know if this should be a red flag or not.
How many was the wreck?
Just you two.
We were wrecking all over the place, but...
It's up to you.
It was only a 2-car wreck.
Never mind. No.
Still green.
Valley will lead coming to the white flag in the Netherlands. Wetz looks like he might have to take it to the semifinal.
White flag 24.
Valley ran a 41.624 to a Wetz ran a 40.898. So Wetz is coming, but before this incident happened, Valley has been the fastest man on the track. Very consistent in car number 24. So we'll have to see if he can hold this lead, but fairly certain he will be able to in the Monster Energy Honda. As I believe, looking at my notes from last week, he did win the semifinal, but this looks like it may be Honda's first quarterfinal win in NASA Rallycross. Rounding the final corner, Valley will win the quarterfinal in the Netherlands.
And checkers and wreckers. Victor Valley gets his first heat win in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. Followed by Wetz, he'll go to the semi. Followed by Casey, who will go to the semi. And that's all she wrote. The rest
Johnson
are
and
Gil
Mertz
Gonzalo.
rounds out the field.
Joker 1.
Quarterfinal 2, Livengood, Kraus, Carmichael, DeNice, and Berg. Green flag off the line. Carmichael gets wheel spin, contact with Kraus into DeNice, and it flips the American over. And I believe who is making his debut this season.
76 penalty box.
Sends a 76 to the penalty box. It's going to be Kraus v. Livengood. As DeNice could not race last week in Great Britain, it was his debut, and the DeNice Autosport
Joker.
team has
No,
work to do.
penalty box
No, you
51.
Fuck,
Penalty
I
box
forgot.
51.
What is the penalty box?
ASN
ASN.
floorboards.
ASN signs. Right there.
Kraus leads at the end of the first lap. Very dramatic here in the Netherlands.
End of
Netherlands,
119
sorry.
leads.
And Livengood's the first one get bitten by that rule that was changed with no jokers on the first lap of the race. Berg will be in second. Third is Livengood after the penalty box. Fourth is Carmichael after the penalty box. And DeNice, I don't know if he's going to try and finish this race or he's going to take the car to the pit lane. We'll have to see. But unfortunately, it looks like this race was potentially ran on the start, especially after Livengood took his joker illegally on the first lap of the race. Ending 2, Philip Kraus leads in the Citroen. Remember, he got his first couple of wins
End of
last
2,
season
19 leads.
in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. Very impressive from the young Canadian, very quick driver. We'll have to see how this season progresses for him after missing last week in Great Britain. 40.825 for Kraus. Berg ran a 41.6. Livengood still in third. Carmichael, sorry, fourth. DeNice fifth. Running order has not changed. As Brendan Berg ran last week in Great Britain, he made the final, which was very good for him. We'll have to see what happens with the New Jersey native.
End of
Yes.
3, 19 leads.
Corrected in my ear. I am sorry, Delaware native. I believe I made that mistake last season as well. My apologies to Brendan Berg. But Kraus still leads. 40.257, 41.257 in car number 19 for Area 52, the Rocky Ridge Citroen, running the tribute decal for Nikki Hayden, the 69, above their number plates as the American MotoGP rider was fatally injured in a non-racing related bicycle accident, and the American team paying tribute to the American rider. 2 to go for Kraus.
End of 4, 19 leads.
Berg ran a 41.561. That was his fastest lap, but he is 0.6 of a second slower. Looks like Kraus nearly looped it in turn 1. Livengood still third in the Red Bull Subaru as he hits the tire barrier, and around the 51 goes. Carmichael fourth.
Oh, we're around Hardin 1. Watch out.
DeNice still fifth. Kraus jokers. But it doesn't hurt him or help him as he's been comfortably out front. He's going to take the white flag. And this is Livengood's first appearance in an MRT Subaru. It was unbelievably decided that they were going to come together at the end of last season. After Erdman's shock departure from MRT, Mertz needed a teammate. Livengood had 2 drivers in Dylan Smith and Chris Wetz, so he defected to his friend and rival squad, and we'll have to see what happens this season. It's the second time they have been teammates, as they were teammates at Aftershock in the shortened 2015B season.
Trash clear.
Looks like Livengood looped it in the final corner, I do believe. He's got damage on the back of that car, but Philip Kraus will join Valley in the final, winning quarterfinal 2.
Checkered flag. Winner at quarter 2 is the 19. 2 bonus points to him. To the semi goes the 91.
76, 51, and 10 in the semifinal.
Back up. Good. 3 laps. Joker once. You cannot joker on the first lap.
Good luck, Denice, Berg,
Top 2 advance.
Carmichael, Lester, and Johnson for the 3-lap LCQ. Green flag. Off the line. Living Good will lead us into turn 1. 3 wide nearly with Carmichael and Berg. The privateers battling for the second spot. Remember, that is the transfer spot here in the Netherlands. As the semifinals, it was Mertz and Wetz uncontested. They had no issues because they didn't race each other, making contact in that race. Berg gets hit by Carmichael. Sliding is Berg in the 91, but he saves it nearly 3 wide with Carmichael, Denice, and Lester. Rounding the asphalt back to the dirt in the final couple of corners. Berg holds the transfer spot. Living in the constructor car will lead the brigade to end the first lap. Can he hold it?
End of 1, 51 leads.
Side by side is Carmichael with Denice. All these new paint schemes crossing me up even though we're on race number 2. Lester in 5th. Johnson 6th. 4th Denice. 3rd Carmichael. Berg is in the transfer spot as Living Good leads us in the LCQ. Let's see who's going to joker on the first lap of the race. Or second lap, sorry. First attempt to take the joker. Living Good does. Berg does. Will there be any strategy plays? Denice does. Lester does not, nor does Carmichael, nor does Johnson. 50-50, Johnson off the track, nearly rams it on the grass, and he does! 2 wheels, side by side, it's Lester v. Denice. White flag for Living Good.
51 leads, white flag.
Lester getting really close, shoving him wide nearly into the wall, was Denice from Lester. These guys are battling really hard to try and take this LCQ transfer. Remember, Lester did not joker. He runs it wide in turn 1 and bounces it off the wall. That's going to hurt him heavily because Living Good and Berg jokered along with Denice. Denice's hand has been shown, and I don't think Lester will be able to have the pace in the Honda to be able to take the transfer. We'll have to see. There's no way. Lester jokers, but you can tell he's not going to make it. Living Good will round the final couple of corners and win the LCQ in the Netherlands. Transferring will be Berg in the second race this season.
51 wins the LCQ. 91 transfers.
7th is Lester. 8th is Denice.
42
9th
7th.
is Carmichael.
10 is 8th. 76 is 9th. 77 will be 10th. 76, that's a warning for retaliation.
What a race so far in Valkenswaard.
See you guys.
Getting ready for the second round of the 2017 B season. It's Valley, Wetz, Living Good, Kraus, Mertz, and Berg getting ready to go here in Valkenswaard. Green flag off the line. It's going to be Living Good with the jump, followed by Kraus. The 2 Canadians are battling to the first corner. It's going to be Wetz side by side with Valley. Mertz goes to the inside in the 81. Contact with Valley and Living Good, sends the 51 out of it. Kraus will lead us side by side. Valley with Mertz. Now Valley with Wetz into the dirt. Kraus leads. 2nd Mertz. 3rd is Valley. 4th Berg. No, Wetz 4th. Battling with Berg is Living Good. Mertz goes to the inside, loops it in the 81, and around he goes, and taken out of it. Rounding the final corner.
End of 119.
Philip Kraus will lead us here in the Netherlands. Valley 2nd, 3rd Wetz, 4th Berg, and MRT is 5th and 6th. Mertz is on the outside looking in. As he looped it, he tried to hop the curb there, spun it, and there's nothing that you can do when you lose your grip on the curb. It's going to be interesting if Valley can hold Wetz off. Wetz is the fastest car in Valkenswaard. We've known this for years. To the inside he goes on Valley, trying to take the fight to him. Valley will joker on the second lap of the race. First opportunity for him. Kraus holds the lead. Mertz is back, still 6th, but he's gaining that gap back. Has a little bit of a satellite issue there, but Kraus still leads us in the 19.
End of 219.
followed by Wetz, Valley, Berg, Livingood, Mertz. As it's going to be interesting to see, Wetz is up to second now, as Berg looks like he must have run it wide in the dirt there as he exits the Joker in the 91. Contact nearly with him and Valley, and Wetz is getting close in the 23. Stalking his prey.
End of 3:19.
And getting close are the teammates along with Valley and Berg.
Not gonna let you have it easy.
Time for him.
As these guys, we haven't seen them properly race as teammates before until today. As we don't really count Aftershock, we only ran a couple races and Livingood struggled. Valley hit the wall, so did Livingood and Mertz. And Livingood Jokers in the 51. Nearly contact with Valley and Mertz. Livingood's going to exit the Joker aside from his, or next to his teammate. No issue. Cross flag for Kraus in the 19. Wetz is coming. 41.773 to a 41.245, half a second faster.
Cross flags,
Berg is battling with Valley for the third spot. This is going to be fascinating for the podium. Valley to the inside of Berg in turn 1. Mertz is stalking there, his prey. Valley gets loose out of the corner. Mertz getting close, swoops to the inside, position change, 81.24, put Mertz back to 4th. Valley blocks Livingood in the 51. Still no Jokers from the top 2. Berg now has contact nearly between Valley and Livingood. Looks like Valley backs up that corner just a little bit more than everybody else, and it nearly costs him every time. 3 to go for Kraus. Wetz is stalking him, 40.875 to a 41.1. Both set their fastest laps, but it was a 0.3 of a second difference between them. Berg a 42.2, Mertz a 41.5. As the constructor cars are coming, hounding the private Subaru and Livingood into the tires in the 51. So take him out of it.
Oh, fuck.
Let's go on board Wetz and watch him stalk car number 19.
Um, 51 damage, slow, off pace. Joker.
End of 6:19.
And let's join this battle again. On board Mertz in the 81, hounding the 91 still of Berg. But we'll focus on the leaders for one more moment. We're at 2 laps to go. Wetz follows Kraus into the Joker, but I believe Wetz, like usual, has 1 Joker left. Mertz Joker, so let's see the battle for 3rd. As he looped it off of turn number 4, and he's rallying back to 3rd. White flag for Kraus in the 19. There are battles all over this racetrack, and this is the battle for the win and the battle for the podium. 40.146 for Wetz, fastest man on the circuit. 0.2 of a second faster than Kraus, and I think Wetz has a Joker left. We'll have to see what happens from 19 to 23 and 91 to 81. Battles all over the track. Kraus runs it wide in turn 3. He's going to give the gap to Wetz. Wetz has the Joker, and that's going to seal it unless Kraus can get a great one. Wetz bounces the rear wheels, but that's not going to matter. Mertz Jokers on the last lap of the race, just like Wetz, and Wetz will win again in Valkenswaard. Nothing new for the American, beating Philip Kraus. And Mertz comes back for 3rd. 4th is
Checkered
Berg.
flag 23.
5th is Valley. 6th is Livingood.
81 comes back for 3rd, 91 4th, 24 5th, 51 is going to be 6th.
7th Lester. 8th Denice. 9th Carmichael. 10th Johnson. And 11th Erdman.
Disconnected from your channel.
And Wetz takes the red plate over 2 points from Mertz going into Canada. As we hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the Dutch Grand Prix here in the Automotive Sports Network, congratulations to Chris Wetz once again proving why he is the man here at Valkenswaard. It's win number 13 for the American in his NASA RallyCross career. But like I've said so many seasons before, next week we go to St. Eustache in Canada. Realistically, give Mertz the trophy, but anything can happen. If I had $1 for every time I said that, I would be rich, but we'll have to see. Hope you can join us next week in Canada, but until then, so long everyone.